The dark truth about why they're pulling away from you? They saw a problem in you. You still haven't seen yourself. Not your face. Not your money. Not your words. Your patterns. You looked available to everyone. Needy for reactions. Easy to read. Too eager to keep. You thought you were being genuine. They felt hunger. You thought you were being kind. They felt weakness. You thought effort creates value. It made you cheap. So they slowed down. Replies got colder. Plans got vague. Respect got smaller. Because people rarely explain disgust. They ration access. And the most dangerous part? Many people pulling away from you cannot explain it either. They just know they want less of you. That means, while you were searching for words, they were reacting to signals. Signals you kept leaking. In this video, we're exposing the hidden behaviors that make people distance themselves. The traits that silently lower your value. And why some people lose interest in you long before they say a single word. People are not always rejecting you. They are escaping a cost. Your tension, your need, your unpredictability, your emotional weight. Most people do not plan to distance themselves. They just notice they sleep better, think clearer, laugh easier without you. That is enough. They choose rooms where their shoulders drop, calls that do not drain them. People who do not require recovery afterward. You thought they turned cold. No. They became efficient. Because comfort defeats loyalty every day. Ease defeats history every day. Peace defeats potential every day. Marcus Aurelius said it plainly. Every man is worth just so much as the things are worth about which he busies himself. Meaning, if your life advertises chaos, people attach a price tag to you instantly. If your presence brings friction, they cut access quietly. If your name means stress, they stop picking up. But here is where it gets worse. You think words hide desperation. They do not. Need leaks faster than speech. Too fast replies. Laughing too hard at weak jokes. Watching faces after every sentence. Agreeing before thinking. Giving too much before being valued. Double texting. Calling too soon. Explaining what nobody asked. You call it effort. They feel appetite. And appetite changes status immediately. The moment people sense you need something from them, warmth cools. Attention drops. Respect loosens. Distance starts. Some people still invite you out, then hope you cancel. Because they like being polite more than being around you. That is how silent rejection works. Nobody wants to become oxygen for someone who refuses to breathe alone. So if this channel keeps exposing truths most people are too blind to name, subscribe now. Because people who understand behavior move first. People who don't spend years wondering what changed. And once people feel your need, they start watching you closer. That is when they notice the real problem. You are not stable. Warm when you feel wanted. Cold when you feel ignored. Confident in one room. Different person in the next. Interested when they pull away. Detached when they come closer. You call that complexity. They call it exhausting. Because now, every interaction needs decoding. What mood is he in today? What version of him is showing up now? Was that joke real or resentment? Was that silence calm or punishment? Some people stop texting back. Not because they hate you. Because replying feels like work. And adults avoid unnecessary work. So they simplify their life. By removing you from it. But even uncertainty is not the worst part. Because moods can be tolerated. Leakage cannot. Not anger, leakage, the emotion you failed to master, entering the room before you do, resentment hiding in your tone, bitterness dressed as humor, approval hunger disguised as kindness, fear buried inside politeness. You say the right words. Your energy betrays the wrong truth. That is why some people smile with you, then feel relieved when you leave. You can be generous, respectful, funny, attractive, and still make people uncomfortable. Because unresolved emotion has a scent. People detect it without language. One bitter joke changes the table. One needy compliment feels like debt. One fake laugh creates tension. One forced calm alerts everyone. They may never confront you. They just stop inviting you. Stop opening up. Stop staying late. Because people do not run from words first. They run from atmospheres. And some people carry storms while insisting the sky is clear. And after people feel your tension, they test your availability. You fail fast, always there, before they ask, before they decide, before they earn it, replying in seconds to people who take days, rearranging your schedule for people who would not delay lunch for you, showing up every time, being remembered none of those times. You thought access creates closeness. No. Unlimited access creates carelessness. Anything always available gets handled casually. Water, Wi-Fi, you. Scarcity alone is not value. But zero friction kills significance. Some people respected you more the week you stopped chasing them. Not because they missed you, because they finally felt your absence. But being overlooked is recoverable. Being self-betrayed is worse, because now they are not studying your availability. They are watching what you tolerate. And people never ignore that. Someone mocks you. You laugh first. Someone crosses a line. You smooth it over. Someone lies to your face. You stay polite. Someone keeps shrinking you. You keep returning. You call it maturity. They call it permission. You call it patience. They call it weakness. You call it keeping the peace. They know you fear conflict. A room can change in 5 seconds. Someone disrespects you publicly. Everyone looks. You grin. You make a joke. Conversation resumes. But something never returns. Your weight. Because once people watch you abandon yourself, they stop believing you can protect anything else. They don't just lose regard. They lose confidence in your center. Baltasar Gracian said, "Respect yourself if you would have others respect you." That is not philosophy. That is surveillance footage of human nature. If this part hit harder than expected, like the video, and if someone you know keeps confusing submission with kindness, share it. Because many people are not pushed aside. They volunteer for it. And sometimes, they didn't pull away because you were too much. They pulled away because you fit too perfectly. That's the part people don't want to hear. You showed up needing clarity. They showed up avoiding it. You leaned in. They stepped back. You asked questions. They gave space. You closed the distance. They disappeared. Not randomly. Not emotionally. Predictably. You call it confusion. It's alignment. Just not the kind you want. Here's something you'll recognize. You finally stop texting. Silence. Then suddenly, they come back. Interested again. Engaged. Almost warm. Nothing changed. Except you stopped reaching. That's not attraction. That's relief. You removed the pressure. They returned to the space. And you mistook that for connection. It wasn't. It was breathing room. Two people reacting to each other's damage, calling it chemistry. And if that felt familiar, it gets worse. Because it wasn't just them. It was you choosing it. Again and again. Different face. Same rhythm. You say you want peace. But peace feels unfamiliar. You say you want consistency. But you respond to unpredictability faster. You say you want respect. But stay where it has to be negotiated. Not once. Repeatedly. Quietly. Without admitting it. Because familiar discomfort feels safer than unfamiliar stability. That's why calm people feel boring to you. No tension. No guessing. No emotional spikes. Nothing to chase. Nothing to fix. Nothing to decode. So you leave. Or lose interest. Or create problems. Then end up back in the same dynamic you said you were done with. And when they pull away, you call it bad luck. It isn't. It's selection. Not conscious, but consistent. That's the pattern. Not them leaving. You returning. If you've seen yourself in even one of these moments, type, no more blindness. Not for the algorithm. For yourself. Because most people don't repeat patterns because they're weak. They repeat them because they never saw them clearly enough to stop. Once you see all of this, you start noticing the people who don't do any of it. They do not chase. They do not flood phones when anxious. They do not become strangers because one mood changed. They do not need a room to regulate them. They regulate themselves. Silence does not scare them. Delay does not provoke them. Rejection does not unravel them. If something matters, they speak clearly. If nothing changes, they leave cleanly. No scene. No smear campaign. No emotional debris. Just departure. Sometimes the quietest person in the room is respected most. Not because they are mysterious, but because everyone can feel they need nothing from anyone there. That stability feels expensive, because most people can imitate confidence. Very few can sustain calm under pressure. Rare things create gravity. And gravity never chases. Now the truth that bruises your ego. Most people did not pull away from you. They pulled away from the experience of you. The pressure they felt. The tension they carried. The guessing they had to do. The invisible labor of managing your state. That can be changed. Not with tricks. Not with lines. Not with pretending to be high value. With inner order. With standards. With steadiness. With becoming someone who does not make closeness expensive. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free. Brave enough to lose approval. Brave enough to disappoint people. Brave enough to stop performing for acceptance. That is freedom." So fix the experience. Not the costume. Not the script. Not the mask. Fix what people feel around you. Because when your inner state stops costing others, distance decreases naturally. Some people will still leave. Let them. Not every exit is a loss. The next video on your screen explains the behavior people instantly respect but rarely describe. Watch it now. Subscribe if clarity matters to you. Then go through the full playlist. Because these patterns only become power when you understand them together.